Hey, what's up, bootstrappers? This is Ryan Nickel coming at you with another Motivational Monday. All right, so this one is knowing the difference between those that want to sell and those that need to, have to, must sell. Man, I can't tell you how easy life is in this real estate game when you find those that have to sell, that their back is against the wall and they have to sell. Let me give you 2 points of example. For example, recently went and looked at a house in a remote area of Northern California. They don't even have a supermarket there. They have like a small little post office, like P.O. box kind of thing, and that's it. There's nothing else that's there in this town. They have to go, 20, 30 minutes to the nearest towns in order to get any kind of groceries, things like that. No gas station, not even a stoplight there. But anyway, met this couple. They had this house, and this is the classic example of someone who wants to sell. So we go out there. The house has been vandalized. It was inherited. It's been through probate. They have the rights to sell the house. They want to sell the house, but they want a ridiculous amount of money for the house. Houses in this neighborhood, in this area, are going for roughly about $190,000. $190,000. This is a small 2-bedroom, 1-bath house that has been added on to make it a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. Now, granted, the add-ons are completely unpermitted, just horrendous. The ceiling, I'm about 5'10". The ceiling literally is like an inch above my head. It's like 5'11", and it's like particle board. And that's how they built on this like extra bathroom. There's like a garden hose coming in. It's horrible. It's completely deplorable. Like, you cannot live in this house. And then it has an extra lot. It's about a 1/4 acre when typical lot sizes there are about 1/8 of an acre. And so obviously it's a little more desirable because it has extra land in it, but it is what it is. So with that said, we gave them a price, and they're like, no, we could never, ever sell that. And this was like a very fair price for the house, given the condition. Oh yeah, by the way, someone broke into the house and flooded it. So the house was flooded, and it's been dried out since, but underneath the house is completely, there's a crawl space, a raised foundation, but you looked at it, and there's just pools and pools and pools of water under the house, at least a good 6 to 8 inches. And they're like, oh yeah, it'll drain, no big deal. So anyway, we gave them a price based on the condition and what we thought we could sell. It's going to be a huge project. It's not like a quick little fix. It's a huge ordeal. Anyway, and they're like, oh no, we can never sell it for that much. We want at least X. And like their X was like slightly below like what fair market price would go for a house that was all fixed up. So that's the difference between someone who wants to sell versus somebody who needs to, has to, or must sell. So got a call last week. It was a referral, and she called in. She says, hey, I got a coworker going through a really rough time right now, and I explained to them what it is that you do, and they said, just come on over and have him sign the papers. We'll give him the house. We're done. We don't want anything to do with it anymore. We are completely done, and this is exactly what we're looking for. Have him come over and take it from us. That's someone who needs to sell. Now, this person has multiple issues going on. They have some IRS debts coming against them. The house has a plumbing issue. Their husband or boyfriend and girlfriend that are fighting now. The dude's living in the garage. She's taking over the house, even though he's the one paying for everything. She pays absolutely nothing. Nothing. He has a job offer out of the area. We're in Northern California. He has an offer in San Diego, in Southern California, paying multiples of what he's earning here. So all these reasons why he has to, must, needs to sell. He's also a vet, doesn't want to screw his credit up in case when he lands back on his feet, he doesn't want to have to redo things. He can't afford the house payment anyway. He's behind several months right now. So there's all these compounding effects that are causing the guy to want to sell, to have to sell. Compare and contrast the two. I got one that wants to sell that is ridiculous on price. Now, that's okay. They can be that way. That's a prerogative. Now, I'll continue to follow up with them, and eventually either some other investor who's going to be willing to pay a lot more because they're desperate will either buy the house, or they'll come to terms with reality and go, you know what, we need to get rid of this house because it's been vandalized one too many times. That was another thing that they had going on, is that they don't live in the area. They drive by, though, several times a week just to make sure that the house is secured and not taking, people aren't moving in and stuff like that. So it's another strain, strain on their psyche, but it's not enough to get them to want to sell right now. This guy, on the other hand, he's like, dude, here's the keys, man, it's yours, take it. So that's the difference between knowing how to go out and find targeted people that you can go ahead and serve, and you want to be focusing on those people, the ones that are in the most amount of pain, that have multiple pain points. Those are the ones that have to sell, that must sell, and those are your paydays. Those are your easy, quick paydays. Those are where you're going to get a lot of good return on your money. I just recently closed on a property, and there were houses that was red tagged. There was obviously code enforcement was involved, but code enforcement was continuing to get with the seller. There were 3 liens on the property, getting ready to foreclose on them. There were all kinds of issues that were happening with this particular house, and we came in and we got the house at a great deal, and just took it. Because they had to sell. She was done. She was completely mentally and physically done with this property. I hadn't lived in it for years. It had become a drug house for some of her sons and her kids in the neighborhood, and she was done. So that's the difference between going after properties where that they are in multiple areas of their life just under a lot of stress and a lot of pain, and you can help give them that debt relief. You can help give them that relief of that burden of being able to buy that house from them at a huge discount and giving them the opportunity to move on and have some cash in their hand. I'm not saying that you go and take advantage of someone's a hardship, but you're also by you helping them, it's not just the monetary thing that you're doing. It's also helping them mentally and emotionally, that you're helping to relieve a lot of the stress that they are under by taking this property off their hands and giving them some cash for it. So when you're focusing on stuff, make sure you're focusing on those that have to sell, those that have multiple pain points, versus then those that just, hey, I'm curious, I want to sell, because that's not going to cut it in this business. You got to find the ones that are extremely motivated. And I can't tell you how many new people I talk to are like, hey man, I got this guy, he says he's interested in selling. I'm like, great, what's his motivation? What's his pain point? Well, I don't know, he just said he's interested. I'm like, go back to the guy and find out what's going on, or go on the appointment yourself and figure out things. And then if there's no other motivation other than he wants to sell, then, hey, that's great. Put him in your tickler file and just, follow up with the guy periodically. But there's no real motivation for him to go ahead and do what we do as investors by buying properties either at severe discounts or taking over the deed and taking them over subject to. All right, guys, just remember, all it takes is one deal for you to change your entire financial future. And that one deal needs to be something that in order to increase the likelihood and the odds of you being able to be successful in this business and find that first deal, if you haven't got one yet, focus on multiple pain points. Why must they sell? Why do they have to? What's the need that they are trying to fulfill by selling to you, and the way that you are asking them to sell, either at a huge discount or taking over the deed subject to. All right, guys, one deal is all you need to change your entire financial future. I'm Ryan Nickel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.